All right, that's kind of bright. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Casey, and well, we've got Mark's Jeep in the garage. Today we're going to be installing some new lights for Mark. We're going to be wiring up these amber Baja lights. So basically they'll be set up so that when you pull the fog light switch on your factory stock, you'll be able to activate these lights. Now it's pretty simple. If you have low draw LED lights, they're going to draw much less amperage on the circuit. You can basically just wire these right up to your fog light wires that you may have, if you don't have fog lights on your Jeep, you may have just disconnected those and they are sitting there. But we're going to wire these up, we're going to drill them and mount them onto the bumper and set them up for Mark to start using. Well, if you saw one of our previous videos that Mark and I made, we were installing the Evo Pro Series front bumper with the hoop on it. I've mounted my KC Flex lights. I basically drilled a hole in the bumper, mounted them, and I'm gonna do the same thing here with these guys. We've got a couple little brackets, and basically we're just going to put a couple holes in the bumper and attach the brackets to them here, and we're just gonna run the wires in behind the winch into the stock harness. Okay, so first we're just gonna mock up where we want these brackets. I've already put a hole, or not a hole, but ink all over the place. I've already put a mark here, right where we're going to drill the first hole, and we're just figuring out where we want the second one. We center punch this one here, and then we basically just ran a straight edge across so that we could center punch another one exactly in line with that, and it's in line with this cut out here in the bumper. It's one of my favorite shop accessories, a battery powered vacuum. You definitely want to put a little bit of paint on your freshly exposed steel, because otherwise it will rust. We're just going to mask this off so I don't have red everywhere. We're just going to install the bolts and the brackets into our holes. Hopefully they are where we want them. Okay, so we just finished bolting the hardware up after drilling the holes in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the factory wires where the fog lights were originally attached to. I'm just going to pull those out the bottom, and then I'm going to cut the connectors off, and we're going to solder on the connectors for the Baja Design lights. Now the Baja Designs, they have it's built in, it's integrated into the light, the cable, and then it's got a 2-pin connector on the end, and then we've got the other side of it, which is just the connector and a positive and negative pigtail on it, and we're just going to solder that pigtail to the factory fog light harness, and then we should be able to control these lights with the fog light switch. I'm just going to tie the black to the black, which is the negative, and the white to the red, which is the positive. We're going to solder these together, and then we've got our powered fog light connector. And if you guys are soldering, third arm is a lifesaver, because it's really hard to hold wires in place, and you can just clip it on and then it hangs there, and we can clip the other wire right close to it, so there's no stress on the solder point as we're doing it. And then that way your mechanical joint's not going to come apart while you're waiting to solder it. And I love my gas powered Portasol soldering iron. It gets really hot, just makes soldering a whole lot easier. I find if you don't have enough heat when you're soldering, it makes just it a lot more difficult, because you can't get the solder into your connection easily. When you're soldering, you want the solder to flow into the joint. And you kind of got like, when you're done, it almost looks like the solder is braided with the wire. So that's all there is to that. We're just going to tuck this harness back up under the skid plate, which kind of hides things nicely, and we're going to bring these around to the top, and then we're going to finish the install. We're just very, very carefully trying to install these washers without dropping them. But okay, we're just tightening this down. And I am screwing this the wrong way. There we go. So all that's left to do now is plug these into our harness. I'm going to feed that wire down the side of the winch to the back. And I'll just tidy that up with a couple zip ties and tuck that nicely into the skid plate. Check that out. I think that looks pretty good. Finish up this side. Got a headlight out. Alright guys, we finished up installing these awesome looking Baja Designs amber additional auxiliary lights. We installed them connected to the factory fog light switch with this, which gives you a nice, quick, easy way to add some auxiliary lights, whether it's in the fog or if you want some additional brightness. If you do want these to be able to come on with your high beams, you will need an aftermarket tuner or programmer of some sort. My Trail Dash 2, I have mine set up so that even when I put my high beams on, the auxiliary lights, my KC flex lights that I have hooked up to my fog lights, they actually stay on. With Mark's, we need to get a tuner to do that, because when he puts his high beams on, by default the Jeep will turn off these fog lights. These are fog lights because they're on the fog light circuit. It will turn them off, so you can't have the high beams on and these auxiliaries at the same time. So if that's functionality that you want, you're going to need a programmer or tuner to be able to change that setting. There's lots out there that allow you to do that. As far as load goes, these draw less amperage than the incandescent bulbs that come in your fog lights, so I'm not really concerned with them drawing any more amperage than the factory. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like. If you have any comments or questions, leave them down below. I will do my best to help you out and answer all of your questions. If you're subscribed to the channel, I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. The channel, I think, is almost at 2,500 subscribers, which is crazy. We haven't even been at this a year. So thanks so much for everybody that is subscribing to the channel. If you are subscribed, make sure you have your notifications turned on. You don't miss any of my uploads. Thanks so much for watching this upload, guys. I will see you in the next video. Woo! It works! Alright, that's kind of bright.